Everyone, it's Shane Kanto here, your Wasteland reviewer, and I'm here to review the new action comedy Snatched, starring Amy Schumer and Goldie Hawn, her first film in like 15 years, coming out for Mother's Day. And is this a movie you should go see with your mom? I wouldn't say so, but I guess that depends on who your mom is and where your level of enjoyment of comedies is. This was fine. It was an hour and a half. I didn't feel like I lost out on that hour and a half, but I've seen better, funnier films, and I know a lot of people are going with high expectations because of Trainwreck, but let's be very clear here. Judd Apatow did not direct this, nor did Amy Schumer write this. So, and to talk about the director Jonathan Levine, he's done some films I really, really liked. I love 50-50. I love that film, and I actually really enjoyed The Night Before. This is definitely my least favorite of his films, and but the thing is, he does a good job. He gives us a really energetic pace. This doesn't feel boring at all for that hour and a half, which unfortunately I've seen enough films just this year that are an hour and a half that felt way too long. But and also how this story was handled, I thought was done in a solid way and balancing for the most part the different storylines and stuff. But I'll get into more about those side plots and stuff like that when I'm talking about the writing of the film. But overall, it was a fun, bouncy, energetic film. The tone of this, though, was a bit way all over the place because this gets super violent, super real quick, and there's legitimately a point in this film where I actually was like, did that actually happen? Is this a dream? I don't know what's going on here. And I'm like, there's no indication this was a dream, so I think that just happened. And it's just like, what the hell? And there was moments like that in this film, and that was a little jarring. Now, the cinematography was done by Florian Bojas. I'm going to say it was a solid job. There's nothing real special about it. It feels very middle of the road. This isn't like a super great looking film, nor did it look like crap. Felt somewhere in the middle, which the thing is disappointing to me. I really appreciate cinematography, and I really hope that it's like when you watch a film, it's like there's something special there that at least can elevate the film a bit. This really didn't have that, and I'm sure they weren't really going for that. Now, it was written by Katie Dippold, and overall, I thought the characters were really flat, and a lot of them were very stereotypical and one-note characters. And honestly, I didn't think the two leads were very well written either. And to be perfectly honest, Amy Schumer's character, her arc is completely unbelievable to me that she goes through in this film and grows. It felt unnatural and it felt just like forced. I do appreciate Goldie Hawn, and I can see her character as it's going and her like letting some of her guard down because she's super overprotective mom in this film. And overall, the characters weren't that great. And in terms of like super with depth and actually levels to their character, there's a couple side characters in this who were absolutely fantastic, but also felt like they're in the wrong movie, which was weird and a bit jarring, and also helped with the tonal issues of this film. And it was an unfocused story, cause and a lack of logic. This movie's called Snatched, and they're not really kidnapped a whole lot in this film, and it's just like, it's more like, hey, Amy Schumer and Goldie Hawn lost in the woods, in the jungle, and stuff like that. I guess it doesn't sound as snappy as Snatched, though. And I don't know, the story had too many side things that distracted from the main story, but I felt like they were there because if you took them away, this movie would be like an hour and 10 minutes or maybe an hour. So, and I felt like what's going on between the mom and the daughter was a lot more interesting before they actually got kidnapped and then had to deal with the jungle and all kinds of weird stuff. their actual tension and trying to grow with each other and help each other be there for each other was a lot more interesting than just the human elements than the action and the adventure part of this film. And I have to say though, this was pretty funny, especially some of the side characters. I actually laughed quite a bit with some of them, and I had a ball. And unfortunately, walking out of the movie, I kept feeling like I'd rather watch that movie. I'd rather watch that movie instead of the movie that they gave me. But in terms of the acting, I didn't like Amy Schumer in this. I did really like her in Trainwreck, but she did nothing different to make this character any different than the character she was in Trainwreck. And that's sad that you just see a very talented comedian doing the same exact thing over and over and over again. And I'm going to start worrying if she keeps popping up in movies as the same exact character doing the same exact thing. I did enjoy Goldie Hawn. I thought she had some fun moments and was a little more enjoyable than Amy Schumer was. But the big standouts in this film are the side characters. Ike Barinholtz, who plays the son who's afraid to leave the house, and his interactions with Bashir Salahuddin, who plays the U.S. government agent, them going back and forth over the phone and in person was fantastic, and some of the funniest parts of this film, and they were both great. And just the little things that Ike brought to his character make him just a little more eccentric, like his mama, 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 and keep calling his mom mama, and being really socially awkward with that, and being really super close with his mom. I thought that was really funny. Joan Cusack plays this woman who cut her own tongue out so she couldn't squeal about her missions when she was in special ops. I thought she was pretty funny, especially with her physical performance, because she doesn't speak in this film. And Christopher Maloney from Law and Order SVU pops up in this, and I've seen him in funny things like in Wet Hot American Summer. He was really funny in this as I'm not gonna give too much away, but he's a wannabe like Indiana Jones type, and he was really funny for the short amount of time he was on screen. They're the best parts of this movie. The actual focus part of this, like the main story, wasn't the best part of this movie. And in terms of music, the score was really not memorable, and honestly, I can't remember any of the score. But I thought they did a nice job picking popular songs and stuff like that for certain scenes, and I thought that worked. Overall, Snatched was funny. It wasn't a. I don't think it was really a good movie. It was funny for what it was, and there was some really fun side characters that I thought were really funny. Overall, I'm gonna give Snatched a C minus, and if you enjoy vulgar, goofy comedy for an hour and a half, you'll get tons of laughs and just check out this movie.